Just mic'd up with Mikie Mahtook. Got the boys in. I got Lloyd. We got J. Mitch. We got Jackie Boyd.
He tried to jump up and he might have knocked it in.
Good timing. Let's go. What a start to the Monday. I mean, I'm from Lafayette. My boys will come in and say,
oh, God. So me and Joe on the ground. I got Joe in the headlock. And he's sitting there. He's punching me in the stomach. Like, punching me.
Here, is everyone sitting around? Who here thinks Chico can practice today after having 5 full beers? And he goes, Chad Jones, right? Chad's doing the team 6 minutes. For 7 minutes, right? Chad's like, no, man, I don't think Chico can practice today. And I was like, I look back and I'm like, Jesus Christ. I saw you there. You were more fucked up than me.
On the spirit plane had some issues, I think. She was sleep farting.
You heard her or you just thought it was her?
I sat right next to her. I smelled it.
Whoa. What was that?
Time for the show. I'm late. Like, I don't even know what I'd be doing.
Now, when you do go to spring training, are you gonna bring your chinchilla and your turtle? My dad tell you about it?
The SEC is, God, they hate fat people. I mean, I get crushed for that. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, man.
Hey, just the South, bro. You got a bunch of food down here. Like they should.
Players, look at Lloyd.
You know what, Lloyd?
You're looking for a recruiting coordinator, coach. I'm here.
He's like, I'll piss my pants right now.
No way.
We're wearing gray pants, long gray pants. He goes, I'll piss my pants right now.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Mic'd Up. I look orange.
I know. I was trying to figure that out too.
Well, I'd like for you to figure that I look orange. Welcome back to Mic'd Up. Today is a Monday, December 18th.
What about now?
I still look a little orange. I did not go to the beach or get a tan. I actually went hunting this weekend.
Hunting.
I went hunting. I found the bucks.
Where are
all
they?
The bucks. They were in the woods where the big bucks fuck.
Yes.
And we had a good time. We enjoyed it. Shot my first buck of my life, which was very fun, very nerve-wracking. Excited about that. It was an experience this weekend that I'll never forget.
You looked orange because of the blood on your face.
Yeah, but I still look orange. Why am I looking orange? I think it's the camera.
Probably.
Can you work on that, please? I'd like to not look orange.
Producer's still at the
I
weekend.
mean, that's unbelievable.
I was hoping you just wouldn't notice.
I mean, how am I not going to notice that I look orange on the screen? It was an experience that I've never had before, and one of the best experiences that I've been able to have in my young life. And I would recommend it if you have the ability to do it, to go to a ranch in Texas and be able to go out there and
murder.
You didn't have to shoot just to see what's going on out there. But that's what I did this weekend. I am back here. We have a lot to talk about. A lot of LSU news, a lot of transfer portal news, a lot of NFL news. Saints are back, I think, maybe, until they're not anymore. They play on Thursday. Now they both teams. The Saints are 7-7, and the Rams are 7-7. They go to LA on Thursday Night Football. Big game. If the Saints percentages count, I think Jared, you sent us that, right?
No,
I've been paying attention to class.
No, with Mika.
Somebody sent us. Maybe it was a Twitter. Maybe it was a tweet. But if the Saints go 3-0, the chances of them making the playoffs are 100%.
Oh, I sent that.
Obviously. You sent that.
He said, "Oh, I said."
If the Saints go,
that's what you were doing.
If the Saints go 2-1 over the next 3 games with a loss to LA, and they go 2-1 with the wins over Falcons and the Bucks, I think their percentage is like 99%. Same thing with a loss to. They go 2-1 with a loss to Falcons, but a win against the Bucks and a win against the Rams. They go 2-1, and their percentages are still in the 90s, I believe. Right? That was your tweet that you sent me. So go 2-1, you make the playoffs. You go 3-0, 100% make the playoffs. Obviously, they have a chance to win a division. Right now, they technically are in the wild card. Chance 2, believe it or not. So the Saints are still alive. They played the best game of the year last week. Defense was unbelievable. Sacked Tommy Cutlett 7 times.
They ruined the experience.
They did.
They got the whole mob on them now.
I know you're Italian. Anthony, appreciate you joining the show. I know you're Italian, and it's part of your blood. I feel like his agent does a lot.
Yeah, he does.
I feel like he's doing a lot.
I've also heard that that's a facade. Like he's playing the part.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Right?
But,
like
yeah.
the all green Hall of Fame,
Too
Italian
much.
Hall of Fame jacket.
Too much.
The pinstripe suit was.
Yeah, 10 out of 10.
That was a lot.
But look, being on the sideline as an agent and talking, like, that's a lot too.
Yeah, that's what I was
Right?
going to say. Yeah, just in that in general.
Just in that in itself is a lot. Like, probably should do. You don't see that very often. But.
Especially when you look like you're putting in beds.
Or fixing beds.
Fixing beds.
Fixing beds.
Gino's playing tonight.
Gino's in. They're all both.
Is that your
both
cousin?
quarterbacks.
Uncle Gino?
Listen.
Well, we're on the Italians.
Listen, the Monday Night Football game was the Seahawks and against the Eagles. Both starting quarterbacks were questionable. They didn't know if either one of them were going to start. Looks like both of them are going to start. We're going to talk about that. I put some bets in there.
The first flex Monday night game.
Huh?
First flex Monday night game.
First flex Monday night. See, you're getting annoyed about my tan. You're trying to fix me. I appreciate that. But we got a lot to talk about. Like I said, the transfer portal is cooking. We're going to talk a lot of NFL. Jayden Daniels has opted out of the bowl game, which is not surprising to us. We have talked about it and kind of hit it at it for the last couple of months that it doesn't look like he is going to play. Mock drafts are coming out right now with him in the top 10, top 5. There's some rumors that maybe he can sneak in a 1 overall pick. I'm not sure about 1 overall, but anytime you're a quarterback and you're in the top 10, you've won the Heisman, you've done everything you need to do, no reason to really go out.
I put some money on it.
Did you?
Did you?
On what?
I got it
on
at
1 overall?
At 7,500 3 weeks ago. It's at plus 1,200 now.
Wow.
Yep.
Value
Wow.
pick.
Hey, I'm telling
Are you
you.
going to double down on it maybe again?
I did. Well, I did. So it was at 7,500. I put $75 on it then. Then it dropped to 2,000 like 2 weeks later. Like when it was like,
Oh, you moved
he's
the
the
line.
favorite. Like, he's the favorite to win the Heisman. I was like, okay, I put an extra 50 on it. How about this? I'd never seen this before on DraftKings. They said that I've maxed out my rewards on that bet. I can't bet it anymore.
Oh, you got him nervous.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was interesting.
That's great.
Yeah. So
That'd be a nice little payout.
That would be nice.
That'd be nice.
I've been
I
making
hope
about
he goes
$5,000.
one overall. That'd be the third.
Yep.
If he goes 1 overall, LSU not known for their quarterbacks until about recently. That would be the third number 1 overall pick as a quarterback coming out of LSU.
That's
since
crazy.
2007.
Yeah. That's
It's
wild.
pretty impressive,
It is.
right? I'm not saying he's going to do that, but that would be awesome. So he's opted out, which gives us a first look at Nuss in his start. If you've been listening to Brian Kelly over these last couple days, some of his press conferences, he said they're going to change the offense to fit the style of Nusmeier. And he followed that up with Nusmeier and Joyce throwing the ball down the field. So you're going to see the offense kind of
Huck
fit
it,
his skill set.
chuck
So
it,
should
fuck
be
it,
excited.
football.
No doubt. Should be exciting. Everybody else is playing now. Brian Thomas Jr., who's a projected first-round pick, he's playing. Malik Neighbors, projected top 10 pick, he's going to play. Obviously, he's trying to break the SEC receiving yards record. Now, how long do they play? I'm not sure, but they are going to play, and they're going to be in the game. In other football news, former Vanderbilt quarterback, A.J. Swan, who I thought was pretty impressive at Vanderbilt, has transferred to LSU. Everybody's like, well, that's not that big of a deal. I think that is the perfect transfer to come to LSU to be the backup behind Nusmeier. You have a guy who's got experience in the SEC. You have a guy who has years under his belt and stars under his belt. He comes in, and you don't necessarily threaten your starting quarterback, you're in the next in line with a guy saying, hey, we don't believe in you. You bring in some insurance and a guy who you say, okay, if Nuss gets hurt, at least we have a guy that we know is capable and talented enough to be able to potentially do the things that we need to do. Now, I would like to get the defense better before that happens.
Well, it got worse, Mikey. Sage Ryan hit the portal.
Does that make it worse?
I don't know.
Pew, 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 pew. Shots fired.
I'm asking
Ain't no
you.
fun when the Rabbits got the gun.
I'm asking. That's what he said. It ain't no.
And you have to think about his brother, freshman at LCA.
Is his brother good?
Oh, he's supposed to be.
Well, ain't no fun when the Rabbits got the gun. I guess that means he wants money. Maybe.
Yeah, what is that? Yeah, I don't. What was the?
I don't know why you would say that.
That's a tough one to read into.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, did they do him wrong? I mean, he played him. You know, he played a lot.
A lot.
You know, like he was probably had one of the most snaps on the defense. But anyway, he's in the portal. But as he puts his name in the portal, we get another safety from Louisiana, transfer from A&M. Is it Jordan Gilbert?
Yes.
Jordan Gilbert. He is now on our team. So you swap a safety, you lose a safety, and you get another safety. I think that they're about to make a lot of noise in the recruiting world. Obviously, the recruiting class continues to get better. Early signing days in 2 days on Wednesday. So we're going to have, I'd imagine, over the next 48 hours, you're going to see a lot of movement happening. And on Wednesday, we'll have, obviously, our guy Bryce Kuhn come on the show and talk everything recruiting. But today's Monday. It is the week, I guess it's the week before Christmas.
It is.
Like,
yeah, it's
you
a
know,
week from
Christmas is on
today.
Monday.
It's a week from
Christmas
today.
A week from today. Not a lot of sports news happening. We are going to just have a nice, fun, loosey-goosey Monday conversation. I'm fired up to be back in studio. I'm fired up that Lloyd was only 19 minutes late today.
You're perfectly on time. That's what they call early in my book.
Last I checked, we did all the setting up, so I don't know what you're talking about.
That's what I like. You know, I enjoy the conversation before, and I think you don't enjoy that anymore because you don't show up in time to have the conversation.
Ooh, he on your ass.
I was setting up the YouTube and doing the document.
Get that here. Get that here.
Would you like me to?
I would.
Okay.
I would like to have this conversation. You know how I like to do that.
I enjoy it as well.
I don't think so.
I think so. Now that I'm thinking
It doesn't seem like you like it because you're not here anymore. You know, actions speak louder than words, Lloyd.
Well, there was a previous time whenever there wasn't so much showing up, you know? Felt like it was a task to get to the other location.
Oh, yeah, but we're not there anymore.
I know. That's what. So I'm
can't worry
slowly,
about the past.
I'm slowly moving on to where I was like, oh, this is a positive work environment.
Well, but we're not getting that. But I think you're going the opposite direction.
I know,
You're
but
going
I need to
direction.
adjust.
There we go. See,
I call bullshit.
self accountability there. I appreciate that.
I'm self scouting right now.
I appreciate, obviously, Jay's here always.
On time.
On time. Actually, early. Jay's.
He was.
Jay's further away. See, this excuse just got debunked because Jared's further away from his
Traffic,
place,
too.
and he gets here early.
Highway traffic, just everything, just grinding, coach.
Just like
I live so close.
Meanwhile, Lloyd could do 6 barrel rolls and be here.
Sometimes traffic's
That's
bad.
what happens. He was walking here. He was walking here.
That's right.
what
He's
it
getting his
was.
exercise.
I need to get a
Anthony,
scooter.
Yeah,
We
scooter,
appreciate
that's
you
what
joining the show. You haven't been on the show in a minute.
I know. I haven't.
We
yeah.
appreciate that.
I'm excited to be here.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. Excited. It's Christmas season, baby.
We got a lot to talk about. You really want me to talk about Tackett Curtis in the portal, huh?
No, I just highlighted
Who's that?
Okay.
because I wanted to.
Some middle linebacker from Manny? And went to USC, and now he's in the portal, and his highlight film is him murdering young
that's
children.
Yeah.
Yes.
in football
Kids
field
that don't
in
belong
high
on the
school.
same field with him.
They look like they're running right into him on purpose and just dying.
Like, this is for
they're-
YouTube.
They're like real life tackling dummies. Is what it looks
Yeah,
like.
like they're going this way, and all of a sudden they just go right. It's like in the video game where they
Heat-seeking
actually press the
missile.
wrong
Yeah.
button and go right into the guy tackling him, you know?
He looks like Spike from Little Giants. Like that's literally what his comp is. It's just like I'm picking up this refrigerator. And
I don't want to keep harping on this, because there's no way we can make the
I don't know
color
why
better.
you're so orange. It's never been like
I
this.
can't see it.
I mean, I'm orange. I mean, Jared's even darker.
Well,
Whoa. Hey,
Whoa.
Watch, go back on him.
Whoa.
Take it easy.
Well, he's not
my
gonna
summer,
change.
my summer
See?
days are over right now.
Yeah.
It's winter. This is the
Yeah,
time.
to me, that should be. I mean, I like a good tan. I just don't know. It's okay.
Maybe it was the deer stand this weekend. Maybe you got good light.
Well, I wouldn't know
fire.
damn
There's a lot of
deer
good
stand.
fire going.
Yeah,
so
that's
maybe
what
the
it
fire
was. The
game.
fire light.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah,
That's why it's orange. You know.
Yeah.
The fire.
Good food, fire, good
So what's
music.
the excuse for me then?
That'd be the background or something. I don't know. The couch.
Damn couch, man.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Let's talk about.
They just have a white
We have a
balance
lot
in
of time
here.
to talk football throughout the course of the next 2 weeks. I think they're 5 practices in. What do y'all think about old Nuss getting his first start? Right, like we talked about it. We've expected it, anticipated it. Right. Just gonna kind of give you a little preview into what's gonna happen next year. Right? They don't have a whole off season yet, but like they have a preview of it.
I love it for him. I hate it for the fan base if it isn't 320 yards, because I can only imagine the nonsense we'll hear about why didn't we go after a quarterback? Is anyone else?
Well, we got
gonna
one. AJ Swan.
No. Is anyone else going to be able to challenge him for the starting spot and all of that stuff? So I love it for him because there's real life game action from kickoff to probably the end of the game or whenever it is that he comes out, if they're way ahead or whatever, however this thing goes. I love it for him. I don't love it for what may possibly happen if it's not guns blazing.
Thanks, Lloyd. I agree. Because here's the deal. Well, I mean, better.
Good direction.
Yeah.
Foul ball, but good direction.
Here's the deal. Straighten it out.
Straighten it out.
Straighten it out.
You're right on it.
Well,
Love
if I
the
straighten
swing.
it out, it's a fly ball. That's
Hey,
an out.
love the swing. Stay aggressive.
You're on it.
The funny thing about it is the
Mom,
first game
shut
or
up.
two of the year,
Yeah.
they wanted him to be the starter. Nuss, hey, you're the starter. We want you to be a starter. You're better. We don't think Jayden can do it. Well, that was wrong, obviously.
Swing and a miss.
And that was a swing and miss. No foul ball.
No foul ball.
No, swing
You
miss.
swung right through it.
It
Bounced in the dirt and you didn't even reach.
Yeah,
You
it wasn't
just
even close.
full swing.
So, obviously, that not right decision, but Nuss not doing anything wrong outside of the fact that Jayden just did everything right? Nuss was watching, being very supportive, has been nothing but complimentary and been nothing but loyal to LSU football, right? Didn't transfer, stayed here, wanted to fight it out, bide his time. And now, at the end of the year, he gets thrown into the mix against Alabama for a little bit. I don't think he played terrible. He made some throws, maybe that weren't great, but came off cold off a bench in a hard situation.
In the middle of the fourth.
Had a couple drops.
In the middle of the fourth. That's
right?
tough.
So, doing nothing, automatically they don't think he can play and start. Like, we need a quarterback. Well, I don't think that's true either, right? So I think it'll be a good look at, okay, you have a whole week or a whole 3 weeks of preparation before the bowl game, and you're going to be able to throw to the starting receivers for at least a quarter or two, and let's see what happens.
Hey, I got a question. Did Jalen Hurts, and I really don't know this, did Jalen Hurts win a Heisman?
No.
Or was he a Heisman?
No,
He was
finalist?
runner-up to
He was a
Burrow.
runner-up? He was a runner-up what year at Oklahoma?
2019.
How many years was he at Oklahoma?
2.
Get where I'm going with this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Did Joe Burrow win a Heisman? He did, right? Which year starting did he win that Heisman?
2.
Caleb Williams won a Heisman too, didn't he? In what year starting did he win the Heisman?
2 at a different school.
Different school, but
Same
what?
coach.
Same coach, same system. So my point to it is like, if anybody's thinking that we're going to get some godsend that's going to come in here that's never played with this system, that does not know this coach,
Wow, that's a great point.
doesn't really happen that way. I would much rather take my chances with a guy that's been in the system,
set that up very nicely.
knows the system, that has a chance to be able to make this thing go from day one. Remember, he's been the one that's been knocking on the door of Jayden for the last 2 years.
Reason why Walker Howard left.
So why would we want someone else to come in and take the job, right? Especially in a year, which is year 3 at LSU, where we're expecting them to, or we want them to eclipse that 10-win spot, right?
Yep.
We don't want something less and or the same. So I'm gonna take my chances with the guy that's been here.
11-2 next year, he puts LSU in the playoffs, in the 12-team playoff, right?
Yeah,
Don't you
I would
believe
think
that?
so. Yeah, I would think so.
2 losses.
10-2. 10-2 gives you a chance.
I'm interested to see how it all plays out, because I don't know. I think it's going to be an adjustment period, not only for
But I think the SEC's got a real chance to pretty much always have 3. 3 usually means that you're probably gonna have to win close to 10. Probably going to have to win 10 in the
You have to win 10.
Yeah.
You're not getting –
It's going to be tough to get in as that
3
fourth
losses.
team.
Yeah.
And that's probably going to have 3 losses to it.
Yeah.
You can't lose more than 2 gives you a chance. You lose 3, you're done.
Two, it's weird because I think it's like I think you're like 80% in with 2, and I think you're like 30% in with more than 2. Like I think it's really that much of a drop off of how they want to be able to kind of align the whole playoff situation.
Well, you saw it this year Georgia is one of the 4 best teams in the country, but they didn't want to run it back of Alabama, Georgia again after you just saw them play. Like there's still politics that are in this game.
And yeah, exactly. But if it would have been 12 this year, you would have gotten Alabama, you would have gotten Georgia, and you would have gotten Ole Miss. Well, you still would have been looking at what? Mizzou and LSU sitting right there, and or Ole Miss, Mizzou, however way it went. You'd be sitting there looking at one of those kind of like, hey, we literally just played the great games with all like those 3 teams. So so I think that fourth team is going to be looking at a possibility of not being in.
And it eliminates some of the opt-outs, like look at Florida State.
Yeah, I think Georgia's got some opt-outs too, don't they?
They got portal,
Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah, but are the portal guys starters? Like, does that go to his point? Like, hey, these guys play at a very high level. At a school that was playing at a very high level, they were not playing, so they got mad, so they transferred to somewhere else. Is that the case? I don't know who's in the portal for Georgia.
I mean, it's just a bunch of highly rated recruits that didn't get on the field as soon as they probably thought, and then you kind of take the temperature of the room and go, well, this guy's coming back.
To Jared's point,
you're starting to see the money kind of factor into this, and we talked
or lack thereof.
Yes,
because some people are saying you're gonna get this money, but not getting this money, so let me go get the money somewhere else. You're not getting it. You're getting backups asking for a lot of money. And it's like, hey, bro, you didn't even play.
Right.
Like, don't ask me for $500,000 if you're not even playing
to stay here. But, that's not how it goes.
No, that's not. That's not the way it works.
I guess you got to ask.
Just can you imagine I don't know, free agents in baseball?
See, he has the best color. What's going on here? Great color.
I've been working on it lately.
It's Italian.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Hey. Had to get a win somewhere.
Be like a middle reliever, in their free agent year, just being like, you know what, man, I think I'm like $38 million this year. This is what I want.
If you want me to stay.
Yeah, if you want me to stay. If you want me to come back this year, and you're like, motherfucker, I'm going to go sign somebody for 2.5. Get out of here.
Get out.
Shut up. Yeah.
No doubt.
You're not going to give me 150 innings this year.
Yeah, stop. Yeah, get out of here. That's what I feel like this is with the NIL shit.
100%. And look, speaking of Chip Kelly had a very good, I think, a good idea. Now, look, some of the SEC purists and some of college football purists are going to be like, no, you couldn't do that. Like, conferences mean a lot. Like, what's going to happen? And he made a pretty good point about saying, hey, you know what? Notre Dame is independent, right? They're not in a football conference. But every other sport at Notre Dame.
They're no longer the biggest football brand there is.
Right.
Either.
No longer. Right? But they've always been independent. But the other sports are in a conference, right? So he's saying, why don't you make all of football, independent?
Yeah.
64 teams in the Power 5, 64 teams in the Group of 5. You play basically one big conference in the Power 5 with 64 teams, and you play a 7-game schedule. And you divide up that into regions, east, west, north, and south, right? And every year you have a 7-game schedule, and you play different areas, 7-game conference schedule, and you play different areas of the country.
Yeah.
Right? Because football can do it. They have the means to do it.
Yeah.
But his point is softball and gymnastics and some of these other sports, they're not going to fly from California to go play an East Coast team in softball.
On a Tuesday and then have to come back on a Friday. Yeah.
Right. That just doesn't make a lot of sense. So his point is saying do that. He also said, which I think is interesting, which we've talked about a lot over the last year and a half, went NIL. That's a little bit better. You're working on it.
And I have the Chip Kelly clip. If you want it.
Okay. So you didn't really work on that.
I did both.
Okay.
Pre-show.
And we're going to play it. I want to keep prefacing, but he also said that if you do the 64-team conference, obviously TV deals, right? Everybody's, the TV money. Well, TV is going to pay for that, right? You're going to get – everybody's going to split the revenue. Right, and he also believes some of the players should be included in the revenue sharing, which I think is the big kicker. Now, you can play it. Jay's Sports Bar.
It's the biggest issue that you might have right now, whether it be realignment, NIL, transfer portal, and what would your plan maybe be to try to solve it?
I think they're all a problem, and I think we need to have a conference commissioner. I think football should be separate from the other sports. Just the fact that our school is leaving to go to the Big Ten in football, our softball team should be playing Arizona in softball. Our basketball team should be playing Arizona in basketball. But because football left, and they're saying, well, how do you do that? Well, Notre Dame's independent in football, and they're in a conference and everything else. I think we should all be independent in football. And you can have a 64-team conference that's in the Power 5, and you can have a 64-team conference in the Group of 5. And we separate it, and we play each other. You can have the West Coast teams, and then every year we play 7 games against the West Coast teams, and then we play the East. So we play Syracuse, Boston College, Pitt, West Virginia, Virginia. Then the next year you play against the South while you still play your 7 teams. You can play a 7-game schedule. You can play 4 against another conference, another division opponent, and you can always play against one Mountain West team every year, so that we can still keep those rivalries going. Not that I've really thought about this, not that I've a lot of spent time on this, but I think if you went together collectively as a group, and so there's 132 teams, and we all share in the same.
It makes the most sense.
We all share the same
right?
TV contract.
It also takes
so the Mountain West doesn't have one, and the Sun Belt doesn't have another, and SEC has one, and they have another. That we all go together. That's a lot of games, and there's a lot of people in the TV world that would go through it. You can sponsor each one instead of calling it Group of 5 and Power 5. You can call it Amazon, Nike, bid that out to things. You do a lot of different things. But I think if we still do the same thing and take all that money, and I would do this, and I think this needs to be done. That money now needs to be shared with the student athletes, and there needs to be revenue sharing. The players should get paid, and you get rid of NLI, and the schools should be paying the players, because the players are what the product is. And the fact that they don't get paid is really the biggest travesty. Not that I've thought about
This
it.
pay for play stuff, right? Like, oh, you can't. It's not pay for play. You can't pay these kids just because of performance or for performance, or they have to do stuff. Well. That's what's happening. You're paying for them to play. They're doing barely anything, and they're getting paid to do it, right?
You're talking about the NIL space.
I'm talking about NIL right now, right? Yeah. And so this whole thing got brought up because of NIL and the transfer portal. So now you have him bringing up this idea where you can create a revenue sharing within the players, within the guys there. So now everybody's going to get an opportunity to get paid without having to navigate through the messiness of NIL. Now, that's always going to be there. NIL is not going to go away. You're still going to have teams paying all this stuff. But here's the problem, and you're starting to see it. You're seeing guys go in the portal and look for money, right? Like, oh, I'm not.
That's the only reason. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm not. I'm unless you pay me $500,000, I'm going in the portal. Well, I'm not paying you $500,000, and I don't know how many teams are going to pay you $500,000 because you haven't done anything worth $500,000. You know what I mean? Like, you haven't earned that money as far as your name, image, and likeness. Like, you're not. That's just not the way it works. And then you're getting players that are getting offered this or told that they're getting paid this.
There you go.
And then you're getting to school.
That's part of it too. You're getting these other schools that are not fulfilling the promises that they're given, so they're being told that, and then these kids are kind of using it to play against each other, and then there you go.
No doubt. And I heard from somebody in the NIL space is like some teams are telling these guys that, oh, we're going to pay you this money to kind of get them there, and then when they get there, they go through the compliance, and they're like, well, you can't do that. Right. Like they're not worth that much money. Right. So then they cut it down. And the player's upset because they're not getting paid the amount of money they should be getting paid. Right. So,
or that they told they were getting paid.
Or they're told they're getting
promised.
Right?
They're promised. Yeah.
Right, and so that is also happening, right?
Could earn.
Mm-hmm. Right.
The incentives.
Incentive based.
Like the on-3 evaluations of like how much they earned and stuff like that is a computer-generated thing based off of social media and all this kind of things. That doesn't mean they're getting paid that amount of money.
Right.
Just want everybody to make
valuation does not mean that it's in your pocket.
No, right? And so I think the disconnect is these teams are offering this amount of money, they're not paying. So when you see these guys say, oh, they're going to get this quarterback's getting paid $2 million, this quarterback's getting paid $1 million to transfer. Be careful believing all of that because not all of that is 100% true, right? Some of them, look, Caleb Williams probably got paid a bunch of money, right?
There's probably a handful of them that are getting paid.
No doubt.
Yeah, there's some.
I'm gonna be honest with you. No. I really do think that a quote-unquote top-flight starting quarterback
yeah.
is getting paid.
But how many are those?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I think somebody like Spencer Rattler got paid. Was he really a top-flight starting quarterback? I don't think so.
And when you say get paid, what does that mean though? Like give me numbers.
I mean, you heard the
over 100 grand.
Coach, no, you heard
Matt Rule.
You heard the coach from Nebraska say if you want a starting quarterback, a good quarterback in Division I football, it's $1 million to $2 million.
Well, which brings the next question. Which brings the next point. They just got a commitment.
Oh, they paid for him. I think he said it to let him know, like, hey, you better. We're gonna have to fork it up if we want one. But my point to it is I think those are the guys that get paid. I think you can easily tell a defensive lineman, hey, we'll give you this, and somehow that gets lost. I think you can easily tell an outside linebacker, hey, we'll give you this, and somehow that never gets to them.
Right.
So I do think the starting quarterbacks are 1,000% getting paid. Yeah. I'm not sure how much they stick to the rest of those guys.
And then how much of it is a business move from the schools too? Like, how much do you think publicity like Texas got for Arch Manning going there and all that stuff too? Like,
well, and that's the different thing. I think Arch was a special occasion, and y'all can disagree with me if y'all want. Like, I'm okay with it. Like, it's a conversation. But to me, I think that Arch was going there because he wanted to play in the system under Sarkisian, more so than the money. He didn't need the money.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the publicity is always going to be there. And look, I'm not saying he's not getting paid.
Think that family's doing okay?
I think they're doing just fine. Right?
But I think from like a Texas recruiting standpoint, right? You want the best recruits to be like, hey, look, we got Arch here, it made this much money. It's like, so it's almost like we got to sign these big guys and fork up that money just to say we can do it. So that way, when 3 years from now the best player comes out, we can actually have a chance at going to get him.
And I agree with that too. And I do think in football is a landscape that I really do think. I don't care how much you don't need the money. They got too much business going on in that family, and there's too much. They're too smart at business to let him go there for not a single dime. He's getting paid. Right. like I don't care what anybody says.
I agree.
Yeah. So and he ain't getting paid at the bottom of that totem pole either.
Right.
Actually, go.
It's hard for it's hard to figure out what fair market value is in college football, because college football.
Because you're getting paid before you actually do anything in that market.
That and it's such a wide range of competition and talent, right? Like, you could be very talented but play in a hard conference or play in the SEC, right? And you could be super talented but not
in the right spot.
Or not put up the numbers, right? But then you could play at USC, or you could play at
LSU was the best test case for this of anyone. You have Joe Burrow that came here and was able to literally change his life. Then Jayden Daniels does the same thing coming from the Pac-12 or the SEC.
No doubt, right? It's just the it's not like the NFL where you know what fair market value is because you're all playing against professionals, you're all playing against people in the NFL,
and there's a market established.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's no established market here.
This is just like the wild, wild west.
Yep.
And also, too, like, every market is different, too, right? Like, Baton Rouge's market versus
LA.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you would think in LA that in professional sports, LA market's the best. Right. Nobody gives a shit about I don't know who the UCLA quarterback is. Yeah. The only reason we know Caleb Williams is because he won. I mean, USC might be a little different, but UCLA, right? Like, it's a big ass school, like big time.
Their quarterbacks in the portal. They don't even have one now.
That's what
I would agree with you in the sense of
to your point,
the USC market and what that name is, and the UCLA market.
Right.
Even the same.
That's what I mean. Even in the same city, it's crazy. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
it's wild.
Here's a perfect example of what you just said, right? Baton Rouge, Louisiana, the market as far as marketing yourself and as an athlete or doesn't compare to USC, doesn't compare to LA. But the top three of the top five NIL, two of the top four NIL earners reside here
in Baton
Rouge, Louisiana. Yeah. Maybe three, right? Like, they are all here, right? And so that's the LSU brand.
Right.
That is, I think the NIL in college, I think that market here is way better than some of these other places. Now, the difference is when Caleb Williams is in LA at USC, he's not going to Gordon McKernan or, whoever.
No, he's going to GQ.
Exactly.
Ari Gold.
He's going to Vogue and like GQ and like having these modeling shoots and like he's in front of the who's who and like That's different.
Right.
Right? But there's only a handful of people that have that opportunity.
That move the needle
market.
in LA.
Was that?
That move the needle in LA at that age.
Right. Yeah. Like that young.
Right.
Right. Like,
because it used to be like USC, like the model was proven for a long time whenever you saw like early 2000s USC where Matt Leinart, Reggie Bush, and Pete Carroll, like Lindell White, they all kind of ran the city. Yeah. Like it became a fun thing to do in LA. When they
like when Miami, like Miami in the 2000s.
No, this is such a great point because I was thinking the same thing. I'm thinking like where USC is right now, you better win the Heisman or else
they ain't gonna talk about
is
you.
Really irrelevant right now, right? Like they haven't won anything, haven't really done anything. And had he not won the Heisman, he's not on GQ. He'd just be another guy that's probably going to be the first overall pick. Yeah. Right. Like that, all that stuff kind of helped him right now. And so it's a different game for him.
And you're starting to see kind of that take shape with Jayden Daniels and him going into the draft where it went from kind of this Burrow-esque ascent of, in 2018, like, that'd be fun if the Saints could get him next year. Yeah. And then it was Jayden Daniels comes back like, it'd be fun if let's see where he goes in the draft and see. And then you have this astronomical rise of, Heisman winner, first overall pick, maybe. Yeah. Like that's how much college football can do for you, especially in a state like Louisiana where it is so hyper focused on.
Yeah, I think there's a big problem and disconnect when it comes to how we value who gets paid in college compared to who gets paid in the pros. Like we said in pros, like market helps, it does, but you're also paid off of performance, which means you're going to play the league, right? In college, let's tell the truth about it. It's a popularity contest.
No doubt.
So if you show up for whatever reason with 100,000 followers, people think you need to be getting paid, although you may not be worth a shit.
Right.
Like that's kind of where it is, and and then if you're even good in this conference or that conference, you may never play this conference or there or here, and people don't ever get to play and or see you that way. So like that's. The way you get paid in these two different landscapes, to me, are completely different, and this one's really tough to gauge and actually navigate.
I will say though, like that happens more often than you think in the leagues. I'm thinking like, because I think you're right. They're completely different, but I was thinking it's just like the players that have that marketability in the NBA. I'm thinking like. It does help. Kelly Oubre, right? I agree. You don't give a shit about what he does on the court, but I bet you if you looked at his off-court shit, he's doing modeling shoots. He's doing all these things where it's like, oh shit, like he actually is doing it. It's the same thing. It's just like people don't care as much because.
But to your point, that's more of the endorsement deals.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Well, but that's what he's talking about too. Like, but, I mean, a lot of stuff right now, kids are getting paid off endorsement deals. Like that's what it is. It's not paid for their performance.
Yeah, because they can't.
You can't. That's what I'm saying. So it's a weird thing. It's like that's what Jared's saying.
That's what you're going to make in college. That's really what you're going to make money off of, even though it should be because you're making money off your name, image, and likeness, not who you are as the performer in whatever sport you're playing.
I think we get it twisted. Like sometimes we forget why parents are so crazy at the youth level. It's like these parents that are branding their kids and trying to get social media. That kind of shit. It actually does make a difference. If the kid is halfway decent at sports and gets a D1 scholarship and he's got 200,000 followers versus the guy that has 2,000 just because he was a backyard baseball player that was good, it's a lot different now. So it's like, it's crazy how it's like fucking, it's messing up the whole.
I just don't know how. I don't think Baby Gronk's gonna be worth a shit.
Oh no,
well, no, it doesn't matter.
That's the thing that sucks.
But
is
it
like
doesn't matter.
Yeah, but a lot of people are just.
It won't matter if he doesn't get a scholarship. Anywhere,
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it'll just be like, wow, look at this train wreck. That's why people are following it.
And then he gets a Netflix 30 for 30, and then he makes money off that.
Yeah. Either way, it doesn't matter. Yeah, just get your kid followers.
You know what? Actually, to your point, you know what? Ruin your kid's life or not, you make money.
Doesn't matter.
One of the two.
We're gonna
use your kid to get followers, and you get paid.
Just pimp your kid out and make some money. That's all that matters. Make sure you sign it.
Figure it out with all them dollars in your pocket, kid.
That's it.
It may work out and it may be great. You may play in the NFL.
Pimp your kid out, fuck it, whatever.
Maybe it's a train wreck, and then we can make a story on it. Write a book.
Yeah. It's all the parents thinking, man, if I had this, like I would have done this. Like,
yeah, no doubt.
If I didn't tear my UCL in high school,
the coach would have just played me more.
The big what ifs.
The big what ifs.
Mm-hmm. Listen to me, I've done it. I've been there.
If was a fifth, we'd all be drunk. You know what I mean? But NIL's not going away. Obviously, I think there's things they need to do. The whole point of this conversation was I think what Chip Kelly said has a lot of merit to it. Yeah. And I think that it's an interesting take, right? I don't think anybody has really come out publicly and said it that
I just don't understand why. Like, there's a reason why there's a hot camera so I can go ahead and take a drink of water.
Wow.
Like, that's so stupid. Why would you do that?
It always puts it on when you're drinking water.
Like, why would you do that?
You just did it in a funny way.
Jesus. I mean, can I drink?
This guy.
Can
But I don't think anybody has presented it that way, right? At least publicly. And if they have, I didn't see it. It's going to be interesting to see. You know, obviously there's a lot to work out. Nothing's going to be changed overnight.
Well, and you have this new ruling of the 14-day stay where Jalen Cook obviously gets to play Saturday for LSU basketball.
Which made a difference. He made a difference. No, they didn't win, but he did make a big difference. You could tell the difference in the offense. They score a lot more points. They give up
they have
points.
a point guard. He's been practicing with the
and
team.
He's good, dude.
Yeah,
like
he's been scoring 20 a night.
Yeah.
But the real reason that I bring it up is because
I'm glad
20 a night.
Yeah, he was at Tulane. But the real reason I bring it up is because the NCAA is still trying to like grasp at straws and try to figure this whole thing out, because they put out the ruling that said if you play a player during this 14-day window when any transfer can play, and if it gets reversed and they're suspended for a year, they're ineligible. Like they lose a year of eligibility, and that just goes to show how far off they are on what this is. Like nobody knows what the rules are. Nobody knows how to navigate this thing. That's what makes it so different from professional sports, because you have contracts you're locked into, and now with this open portal window, you have players that could play for 4 different teams in 4 years right now. Hell, they could play for 2 teams in 1 year.
I don't love that.
I know, but that's what they have to. They have to figure this out in a they need a governing body.
The one-time portal thing, I'm fine with. Right?
That made sense.
But once you start letting someone do it, they have exceptions. What makes the exception? Like, why did Efton Reed get accepted to play in the transfer, and why does Jalen Cook
And they
not?
had to appeal.
Right? Was that?
And Efton Reed had to appeal,
right.
and
like,
he had
why
to
does that
sit
appeal
out
get
15 games.
And I know Matt McMahon believed that Jalen Cook's appeal was probably going to get
it's just,
be
but
favorable.
Why does it move so slowly?
Exactly. Right? That's the thing. It's like, why is there an issue? Like, why don't we make one rule, stick to the rule? What?
We need to make one rule, and we need to stick to the rule, but I think that was, of that Chip Kelly thing, to me, the best thing he said in that whole thing was I personally don't like a kid that could literally be at 4 different schools in 4 different years.
No.
I don't like that at all. But why can any coach do it?
Yeah, right.
Like, so if we don't have to make the coaches stick to any kind of rule, then why do the kids have to do it, right? Yep. So I think there needs to be something that says, like, hey, coaches can't do it either. Like, you can't – I get it. We all want to level up, make more money, make a better situation. But if you can't let the kid do it, then we can't let the coach do it either. Or at least if you're going to do it, you got to finish out the season or something. There has to be some sort of parameters in that sense.
I agree. I think it has to be, you have to finish the season out and then move on, right? But 2, I also believe there's going to be, in some of these deals, right? In some of these, hey, when you sign your letter of intent, there's going to be like a buyout clause. Or like you know, you have NIL. If you want to go and transfer, you gotta either
it almost has
can't
to come
pay something back, I guess.
Well, about to say, so how do you do it though? Because if a kid's coming in here and he's never played for you yet, but somehow he's gotten money in NIL deals, you can't say it's because of your school.
Yeah.
Right.
So like, then how do you do it then at that point?
And that's what part of the lawsuit was, is why they filed it in West Virginia. I believe he was going to West Virginia as a basketball player, and he signed an NIL deal, and because he was basically ruled as like he couldn't play. He was basically ruled out. He's like, I'm not able to collect my NIL money because I'm not being able to be on the court.
Right.
It's like you're affecting my worth.
Ability to earn money.
Exactly. And that's where the Sherman antitrust thing comes in. Like you can't set that precedent. You can't stop somebody from making money on the open market. That's illegal. Yep. And that's where this whole thing sets up to. This is going to be a cavalcade of errors unless somebody steps in and figures it out. Because right now it's, look at it. Ole Miss is just backing the Brinks truck up for everybody.
It sounded like the beginning of the end of the NCAA.
Right. Yeah. But then you still need somebody to...
If the NCAA wants to do anything, they're going to have to put together this proposal that is the perfect middle ground where it helps. And how do you do that? I don't know. There's a lot smarter of people doing it than I. What?
I wouldn't agree with
that. Did you
mean?
hear that they made or there was some talks about them like paying players? Like,
that's my point. Like they are going to have to create a system if the NCAA wants to continue to exist. They're going to have to create a system similar to a professional system.
I got the perfect people for it.
Who's that?
Whoever worked on and did Shohei Ohtani's contract, they need to sit down and figure this thing out. 'Cause they obviously know something we don't.
No doubt. But they got to figure out the system, right? Say, okay, this is how they get paid. This is the rules. This, and create it and say, okay, look, college sports, all these schools, this is going to benefit you. NCAA, this is the compromise that you have to make, and this is what still gives you some control, and you're going to be the governing body. But these are now the new rules. These are the new bylaws. This is the new thing. We're going to almost blow it up and start all over again, but do it within the system that's already created as far as the NCAA. Now, that's the only way. I don't know how to do that, but if not, you're not going to have an NCAA anymore.
I think that's perfectly fair. Like you
still need a governing body, though.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like you can run this, you can retread the tires all you want, but it's still going to end up at some version of the NCAA.
That's why I said you just remodel it. You don't change that. You remodel it and you redo it and you say, what?
You need to have people like Chip Kelly in that room
No
instead
doubt.
of old, like I know he's an old white man.
You need to have
old white people that are like, I have no clue what's going on. Let's vote on it.
You need to have business guys in there and understand that now we are going to have to run the NCAA like a professional organization.
Yeah, I mean, you could even do like almost like an NFL contract like style where it's like 2-year deal, opt in for a 3rd year or something like that, where you're able to leave, but you have to almost sign up for, hey, the school you committed to, it's a 3-year deal and you have 1 transfer. And that's like really all it is, but you're guaranteed a certain amount of money whenever you go there. Like you have to start thinking of it like a professional model.
Yep.
It's the only way it makes sense.
But it can't be, there's got to be a separation too somehow. I don't know
Why?
how you because then what's the point of the NFL?
Here's my question. What now, like right now,
Just better football.
is making it still amateurism?
Right. That's my point.
No. I'm asking though, like right now, what is still making it amateurism?
Going to school?
Do they?
So then what would make it any different than them kind of having some kind of contract? Then?
No, you're right. I don't know. I don't know that answer. I'm just saying, like, at some point, the majority of these kids, look, I guess that's to the other point too. Like, majority of these kids are not going to play out for college. Majority of them. So they say, well, why not make money off of
what I got now?
What you got now?
I've said this since day one. They need to find a way to, hey, listen, we're not going to cap how much money you can make now. But we are going to cap how much you can access now, in the sense of you can keep making it. It goes into a trust. You can touch it once you're 30 years old, the rest of it. But that should be enough to be your incentive to play hard and get the hell out, as opposed to saying like, no, I'll just stay here and make more money. No. That's not what this is. This is amateur. If you want to go make the money somewhere. Right. And I think there should be some sort of balance in that situation, whereas there is nothing that you can't make here. You just can't touch it all while you're here.
No, absolutely. No, I think that's and
that's where the buyout comes in. Hey, you want to leave?
Oh, that's interesting.
You know what I mean? Like, you want to leave and transfer, you sign this. If you want to transfer, here's your buyout.
X percentage is penalized.
Yeah. Almost
you
like
put it in escrow.
Yeah, almost like what they do for the college scholarship thing, like for baseball when you sign out of early from college or high school, and they put that money into an account, and it's like you have X amount of time to use it, or if you don't, it's gone. It'd be the same thing. It's like, hey, you can access this for a certain amount of time after you leave our school, or or it's available to you once you stayed a certain amount of time, or something like that.
Because that's the only way. That really is the only way to stop.
Yeah.
The transfer is going to get out of hand because people are literally just money grubbing. They're going around and slutting themselves out for the highest.
And here's the other part of it. It's already out of hand. There's so many guys. There's more people in the portal than spots available in college. So the other issue is these kids are going to go put themselves in the portal because they want more money, not going to get paid more money, and get stuck and not be able to play football.
Yeah.
Right. That's already happening. So.
You're saying because there's not enough spots and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, you put yourself in the portal, and then what?
Yeah. Here's the deal. It's like professional sports. Or baseball is probably the best thing, right?
Opting out and...
Or you're on a team, and they draft new crop every year.
Yeah, true, yeah.
In college, you're getting new recruits every single year that are kids aren't going to stop becoming high school graduates, right? Like, they're just not going to stop going to college,
coming.
Right?
The five stars are still coming into college football next year.
And they're going to have to continue to do that. So these guys that want to get put in the portal and they want to go somewhere else because the grass is greener, and they realize, well, shit, maybe I'll value myself more than these teams value me, or maybe they like this high school recruit that's coming in here more than they like me, and I didn't do well enough here, and I went from LSU to I think I'm going to go to Oklahoma or Texas or Nebraska or whoever, and then they realize, well, damn, these guys are already bringing in their recruits. They didn't really like my film, so now they end up at San Jose State. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, shit. Now you're definitely not getting paid.
I was a starter.
You know what I mean? Yeah, so like, I'm not talking about just LSU, anyone, right? And so it's just like, these guys are going to go in the portal because they want to go somewhere else, but then all of a sudden, well, maybe this somewhere else isn't. Now, the top-tier guys are always going to get it, but how many top-tier guys are in the portal every year?
Every year, yeah.
Right? Like, you're going to have guys that are super talented at a high school.
Yeah.
But, like, to your point, the talented guys are only in the portal for extenuating circumstances. Coach leaves. Maybe you need to be closer to home for some reason or another. You got homesick or something.
There's always the exceptions.
Yes, right? There's some exceptions, but usually they're in there for extenuating circumstances. The ones that are very talented. And look, some guys are talented that just don't get the opportunity because some guys ahead of them are super talented and they want to move on, a la Joe Burrow, right? And they go somewhere else. Those are the exceptions. But for the most part, these guys that keep losing out on their positions, they're juniors now, and they keep losing out to freshmen and sophomores, and they don't win that position. Yeah, they may be talented, maybe they're in the wrong stuff, but they're going to put themselves in the portal, and maybe they value themselves higher than some other teams, and they get stuck and they don't have a job. So that's the other issue with the portal.
They don't have a what?
A job.
A job. No doubt.
Amateur sports, baby.
Yeah.
No doubt.
I didn't enroll in my classes.
No doubt. And then what are you going to do? You know what I mean?
Get a job.
Get a real job. And go to school, graduate, and not play football. Go to a Division II. I don't know. Like
there's truly no perfect way about it, right? And that's just
what it is.
It is what it is, but it's just got to be better than what it is.
Because I was always of the notion that I liked how this was going, like disbar kind of the NCAA, because they never.
Yeah, you're always a fuck the man guy.
Yeah, but they didn't do any of this correctly. Like there is a model where that should work. Like I'm not like fuck the NFL. I think that's a perfectly good business model. The college football just went, we can't do this. Like
I'm tired of hearing
whole NCAA.
Tired of hearing you bang on my door about
so they
this.
just
Take
said,
it.
They said y'all figure it out, and this has become like
it's become
anachronistic where anybody can do anything that they want. Then they're like, wait. Then the NCAA knocks on your door like you can't play. It's like what?
Yeah,
Where you come from?
Right.
And why do I listen to you? Like that's what we. Yeah. Will Wade said the same thing. Like he was banging the podium last night.
Speaking of, also, I don't know if this is a mistake. Did you see what this is? It the Southland Conference?
Yes.
Did you see what they posted after McNeese beat UL?
Oh yeah, I did.
The Southland the conference posted a picture of an L in chili peppers, and it was an L, and they at UL and said giving UL the other L that they've been missing. Because right now the ULL goes by UL, University of Lafayette.
Oh, wow.
University of Louisiana. The conference Twitter account posted that, not McNeese.
That's cold.
This is election.
Wow.
And didn't they have the scores wrong on the thing too as well? Like on the actual post?
I don't know.
I could have sworn I saw, if I remember correctly. Oh no, they did. They had it right. Okay.
That's what they did.
That's it.
They posted that in the caption.
From the conference, not from McNeese.
The caption was, "Here's that L. Here's that L to add back to your name." The conference
is that's out of pocket.
That's aggressive.
They're just reminding them you're not
because they used to be in the Southland Conference. No, they used to be in the Sun Belt.
So they left the
no, they left the Southland and now they're in the Sun Belt.
No, they've been in the Sun Belt.
They were in the Sun Belt. Now they're in the a different conference, I think. So it's still Sun Belt.
I think it's still a Sun Belt, but I could be wrong.
I think it's still Sun Belt.
They're in the Sun Belt, Billy.
Yeah, there you go.
So
yeah, still in the Sun Belt.
Yeah. So the Southland is where McNeese resides.
Yeah,
so
McNeese is in the Southland.
Right.
Yeah.
But why? Like, why would you feel
They're just trolling them?
Yeah. The conference.
Hey, you know the social media game now, baby. So you got to get on that line, straddle it, tow it, maybe do a nice little squat on it, but don't get 2 feet over it.
But do enough just so we're talking about. We're talking about fucking McNeese and
no doubt.
You know what I'm saying? Their conference.
Yep. No doubt.
I didn't even know who was in their conference until you just educated me because they did that post. It's amazing.
I think it's McNeese and Southeastern. That's about it.
It worked.
Northwestern State, big dog.
Oh, are they in there too? There you go.
See, there we go. Learn something new.
I really don't know the rest of them.
That's what I'm saying. They did a great job.
Is Lamar in the Sun Belt? Yes. Lamar.
That was
in
great
the Sun Belt
marketing.
or the Southland?
Southland.
You said Sun Belt. I heard you.
There's a lot of S's in there.
Yeah. I know my South.
In the South, yeah.
Nichols, Northwestern, Southeastern.
You're looking at
Stephen F. Austin.
Lamar.
That sounds like
Stephen
the Louisiana,
Sam
Texas
Houston.
conference.
Yeah.
exactly.
I was in the. I had a bit of a run in the Southland. Sign my checks.
But
Fuck out.
We'll see what happens.
I just didn't know how many was in there.
I think what we need to do, we need to go to the NCAA's office and drop off a bunch of Heineken Silver and say, here, y'all take this. You'll pass them around. Y'all drink this until y'all come up with good ideas.
Get some good ideas.
Heineken Silver, you can drink it all night. 95 calories, 4% alcohol.
You can take the mic home with you.
It's a great drink and beer. It's a great conversation beer. And you can drink it. You can stay there all night, and you can just figure it out because we need it. And maybe we need some liquid courage to make the decisions that are necessary to be made and to make this better. So that's my bow on the NIL conversation. We can talk about that all night. I want to talk a little bit about the NFL, though.
Drew Lock's playing and not Geno Smith now.
Oh, Geno out.
Yeah.
Move.
Drew Lock
has got so much swagger for no reason. I mean, I respect it.
I kind of like it. Watching him right now, the team, I don't know. I like it.
The fake confidence is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Drew Lock reminds me. Drew Lock kind of reminds me of Zach Wilson a little bit.
Yeah.
Where's he from? What's the story?
Missouri.
So Drew Lock went to Missouri. He was really good at Missouri. They won some big games. He has a big arm. Went to the NFL. Got drafted, I think, in the second or third round.
I remember the name, yeah.
And he was supposed to be the guy. I think he got a couple starts.
The Broncos.
No, he did start for a while with the Broncos. They just
remember
they were not very good.
Yeah, he was
wasn't
singing
the
Young
greatest.
Jeezy on the
they weren't good. And then now he's been the backup. Actually, they traded him. Mm-hmm. They traded him to Seattle
with Russell Wilson.
Right? And then Russell left, or for Russell Wilson, like in that trade. So he thought maybe he was going to get an opportunity to start there, and then Geno had the Geno Smith year, and then Geno's now the guy, and Drew Lock's the backup, which is probably the best thing for him. He's actually played okay since he's his last start was okay. It wasn't bad.
No, I think it was like 225 with 2 touchdowns and 2 picks.
Yeah.
Hey,
or you
since
could just
go on to the
Joe
NFL
Flacco.
and the Zach Wilson situation.
Simeon got in there.
Here's the thing. Here's what's mind blowing to me about that situation. How on earth is Nathaniel Hackett escaping all of the conversation of how bad he's been? Like, everyone is absolutely wearing out Zach and the O-line, which they do suck. They're not good, right?
Well, I think the problem is more the O-line than Zach Wilson.
I think the problem is more than Nathaniel Hackett.
Yeah.
Like, did Sean Payton need to say what he said about him last year, or at the beginning of the year? Probably not. But
he was right.
But look at second half of the season with Russ. Like, he looks okay. He looks like a competent quarterback.
Right.
Bro, Nathaniel Hackett made Russ look like he didn't. Russ was a surefire Hall of Famer before he got to Denver. And in 1 year in Denver, you like, hey, yo, I don't think he needs to be in the league anymore.
He's a quarterback.
Right.
And then now he leaves, and now he's slowly getting back to, okay, I see you, Russ. You're making some plays again.
No doubt.
Somehow Nathaniel Hackett's just escaping all of this, and he's like Aaron's go-to guy. And
That's why.
It's crazy.
Honestly think that it's Nathaniel Hackett's offense or Aaron Rodgers' offense, right?
Aaron Rodgers was the MVP twice before he ever met Nathaniel.
doubt. Nathaniel Hackett could say, I need you to run all verticals, and somehow Aaron Rodgers is going to make the right throw. And start moving people around and doing this shit.
Cooking everybody up.
Exactly. He's doing the offense, right? So, obviously, apparently, he's not Nathaniel Hackett's issue. The offensive line sucks because Zach Wilson, when he has the opportunity to you're good. When he has some opportunity to throw the football,
Anthony.
he actually has the ability to make good throws, but.
It's AaronRodgers.com. I mean, that's his guy.
No
and
doubt.
I mean, you saw him go to bat, keep my coach's name out your mouth. We talked about Sean Payton. Nathaniel Hackett's watching Goldmember 30 times a week and playing it in the practices. He needs Aaron Rodgers.
Hey, do you think Aaron is such a commodity for the league, and whoever can get a chance to talk to him right now, that everybody's like, look, don't talk bad about Nathaniel because you just may not
piss him off.
You may not get Aaron. You may piss him off and may not get him here.
Yes.
You think that's possible?
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, whenever the Jets signed Rodgers, look at what they brought in. They brought in
all of his recruits.
All of his guys. You have to move heaven and earth to make him happy to get him to the Jets.
And
that's Nathaniel Hackett. It was. I mean, who else?
Well, no, they brought Nathaniel Hackett in first, didn't they?
No, they were.
It was all part.
Yeah, it was all together.
Is he gonna play this year?
I doubt it.
Not now.
They're out. They've officially been eliminated from the playoffs.
Have they? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're out. See.
Which is crazy. Honestly, the crazy part.
I would love for him to play just as a big.
The crazy thing about the NFL right now is there's 32 teams in the NFL. there's still 30 teams that are still technically able
really?
to make the
There's only two
playoffs.
teams mathematically eliminated?
Only 2 teams.
There's only
now,
3 weeks left to play.
Yeah, that's wild.
Now there's like 3 or 4
Right.
teams that like have like a point, whatever.
Everything has to
but
go.
They're still in it. Yeah,
Still in it, right? Like,
Or you could be the Panthers and sell your tickets for 45 cents.
Panthers did a huge solid for the Saints.
Yeah, they did.
And beat the Falcons.
They did.
Right? So the Falcons now.
Desmond Ridder is going through it.
Yeah.
So is Arthur Smith. Huh? He might not be there after the year.
Bijan Robinson had 0.4 fantasy points. He drafted him in the first round.
Well, you don't want to use them all up right now.
What?
You don't want to use them all right now.
Yeah, not when you're fighting for the division. You win in the last week of the season. They lose. So now they were in the driver's seat in the NFC South, which is a stinky division right now. Now they are behind the Saints and the Bucs. The Saints play the Falcons and the Bucs in the last 2 games of the season to win the division. What? Why are we looking?
How good is Baker Mayfield?
He's playing better. Look, but we're talking about Arthur Smith right now, you know? You can't fire him, man, because you may never get a FedEx package again. You can only get UPS if you fire him. Don't do that.
Yeah, Jameis will start
showing
up with
Arthur
briefcases.
Smith, or do you think it's like, are they going to draft a quarterback?
Who, the Falcons? Oh, I mean, yeah, they need a quarterback.
Right, Desmond Ridder's not the guy.
But Arthur's also making the decisions, right? Like you just talked about Bijan. Like he's in the game half the time, if that. That's not the quarterback's fault.
Shaves his mustache, grows it back out.
And once again, I'll give praise where praise is due. Baker's playing a lot better right now.
Yes.
Somebody said that he's going to get $100 million contract. Is that true?
Well, it's only because they're probably going to have to pay a quarterback, and
he's next.
He's the next. Like they're going to need a starter.
Tua's next.
Why do they have to pay him?
But he won't get $100 million. He won't get to be guaranteed.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like NFL contracts.
Right,
here's $100 million.
Right.
I think he's going to be in that same deal situation if they don't go quarterback as Geno was last year.
Wow.
1 year.
Somewhere. No, it was like a 3-year deal, but it's a lot of money though.
Yeah.
So and look, I think he's earned the right to be the starter. I mean, he's
playing well.
He's one game. He's not a Pro Bowler.
Yeah.
At the end of the year, when the numbers are said and done, like that game obviously helped. But at the end of the year, he'll probably be a top 12 quarterback in the league.
He's a starter.
He's definitely a starting quarterback.
381 and 4 tuds.
That's wild.
Huh?
381 and 4 tuds.
Yeah, right.
What?
What's his season?
Yesterday?
Yeah.
Or whatever.
What are his season numbers? And won the game. Like
4 different players too.
Yeah.
But I will say this. Can I just
Mike Evans is unbelievable.
Please let me sidebar this because I've always said this about him. 10 straight years of 1,000 yards receiving. He made Johnny Manziel a Heisman winner. Mm-hmm. Don't sleep on having Mike Evans as a receiver.
Look,
Also,
go ahead.
go. Well, you know me from the betting perspective. There's been, I think, was he hurt for a couple games this year or something like that?
Maybe, possibly.
10 games or 11 games this year, or going into this game this weekend. He has scored 7 of 10 games this year, and the betting odds still have plus 230 for any time touchdown score you can get him for. I'm like, I don't get it. He scores every weekend.
Scores every weekend.
It's unbelievable.
That's what I'm saying. So don't sleep on that.
People, the biggest, look, DeAndre Hopkins is awesome.
Yeah.
And part of the reason why DeAndre Hopkins was awesome was because every year he'd have a poo-poo quarterback throwing him passes, and every year he would have 1,000 yards receiving, and he'd be in the Pro Bowl.
It's like Larry Fitzgerald.
Just like Larry Fitz, right?
Yeah.
Mike Evans in that same category. Go look at the He had 1,000 yards receiving season with Mike Glennon.
Hell yeah.
As his quarterback.
What did he do when Brady was there? Did he have a stupid year?
I mean, just
he had a good year.
He had a good year.
Yeah, another good year.
Yeah. I mean, it was just 1,000
another good
yards.
year.
I'm just saying, what would it be like with an elite quarterback or one of the best or whatever? I know
It's the same, dude. He is
Steady
Eddie, and it's
at like the top of the bar too.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's not a middle of the road guy. He's literally a first ballot Hall of Famer, and it's
no doubt.
I'd like to throw it on one of
pretty
those
physical too, right? He's like 6'6".
He's like 6'5". Yeah,
big
he's a
boy.
big dude.
The only person that could shut him down was Rashard Robinson for LSU. Just absolutely had him in a vice grip for some reason.
And Lattimore.
Yeah, they get fight every week. Mike Evans with Tom Brady, though, to your point, 221 catches, 3,100 yards, and 33 touchdowns in 47 games.
2 years.
So 2 years.
Yeah, so he did really well.
2 years.
What?
2 years.
47 games, because that's the playoffs too.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Think he did
Strong
well.
to quite strong.
What's Baker's stats for the rest of the year? For this year?
Baker is I just had it pulled up. Here we go. 3,300 yards, 24 touchdowns, 8 picks.
This year?
Yeah.
Pretty
He's tied
solid. He could
Good for him. 3,300.
Yeah, he's gonna throw for 30 touchdowns.
He could potentially throw for 4,000 yards.
Yeah.
He will throw for probably 4,000 yards.
He might throw for 5.
No.
What?
It's 3 games.
1,700 yards in 3 games.
Playoffs.
No, they don't count that
They
for
don't
regular
count.
season.
Playoffs.
You know that.
If he averages 200 yards passing a game,
Mason
he's gonna
Taylor,
throw
1,000 yards this
balls,
year.
right? Which he will.
Yeah.
What did he have?
He has 24 touchdowns. I mean, he's gonna have 30 touchdown passes.
Yeah, I think so.
And 4,000 yards passing this year. And on a year where the offenses have not scored a ton of points.
Yeah.
Right. Like that's a good year.
Yeah.
Really good year.
Yeah.
Like that's a $80 million.
Oh, yeah.
Geno Smith.
That's so crazy.
Shout out.
That's so
I mean, that's
wild.
awesome.
Yeah. Good for him.
Mason Taylor had 260 yards this year.
Just missed it.
Just
We almost got there.
the bowl game coach. You
We
still got
almost
time.
got there. Like he's 700 something yards in the bowl game.
Nice colossal bowl game.
And I was wrong.
Yeah.
What happened?
One of the playoff teams gets
I
sick
said
and they
that,
say,
I
you
said
know, let's
that
put it
we
LSU.
could break the tight end receiving record at LSU
Mason
this year,
Taylor?
but before the year started because I didn't.
You got the Jayden part right.
To my credit, I did not think that Brian Thomas was going to go off like Brian Thomas. I
And
thought
he
he was going to
got
be good.
hurt.
Huh?
Mason Taylor was hurt.
And he got
did
hurt,
get hurt.
but it still wasn't going to get it. I mean, the way the offense was, it was not going to do it.
The best thing that may have happened to the LSU offense was Mason Taylor getting hurt. Not that I want him to be injured, but it made them open up the playbook a little bit more and get away from that maneuver to,
Maybe they were
okay, let's start
already gonna
throwing
do
it.
that.
I don't know. Force your hand a little bit.
So the playbook, you're talking about opening the playbook.
Nuss.
Saints.
Oh.
I don't know if they opened it. They
I don't
turned
think
the
they
page.
cracked it.
They turned the page to another chapter, and
They looked okay.
the formula they used last week. I know they're playing the Giants, but still the Giants.
No. The Giants have had a good defense. All
Right.
Yeah.
They're playing the Giants, and the Giants offensively the last 2 games have like moved the ball, have done some things like.
The Giants have a top, I want to say, like 15 or 16
Right.
defense on the season.
Right, and Tommy Cutlets has been.
Say it like it's his real name.
I know.
I know.
He
I
just
like
fully embraced the Tommy
It
Cutlets.
rolls right off the tongue.
Tommy Cutlets has been, winning games. He won 3 straight, right?
It was
Before
like
that?
four different defensive players doing this during the game.
That was so funny.
So he was winning games, right? And so I think the formula that they showed, right? The formula the Saints had this past weekend was the defense played the best they've played in a long time, right? They looked like the first 4 weeks of the season defense, not the middle of the season defense. They had 7 sacks. They didn't give up any touchdowns. They gave up 2 field goals. And offensively,
No touchdowns in the last 2 games.
no touchdowns in the last 2 games. Offensively, Derek Carr was the best game of his Saints tenure. 80% completion percentage, I believe. Right? Maybe not quite.
Only
80.
one fight.
He threw 2 or 3 touchdowns. 2 touchdowns.
2, I believe.
2 touchdowns. He was very efficient. No turnovers. And
3 tuds.
huh?
3.
3 touchdowns, right?
3 with 3 tuds.
218. So it didn't throw for a ton of yards. He was efficient. Touchdowns. Red zone offense was really good. And the defense was dominant, right? So
That's the recipe.
I
was
think
gonna say,
they
that's a good
played.
recipe.
I think they played
Back to Dennis
pretty
Allen
much
football.
complementary football, right? Like offense did enough offensively, moved the ball. They weren't going 3 and out. The defense played really well, so the defense was able to get rested. If they play that way the rest of the year, now it's a big if because you've seen how it works. 1 week good, second week not so good. If they can play that way the rest of the week, I believe that they could go 3-0 the rest of the way and have a chance to not win the Super Bowl. Not what I'm saying.
What you
But have a chance to like maybe get out of 1 game. Listen, they're probably going to be able to play the Cowboys, right? If they win the division,
Here we go.
they'll play the Cowboys at home, right? The Cowboys just got their
Wait,
big.
they'll play the Cowboys at home?
If you win the
Oh,
division,
yeah, you win a
get
division, you get the
playoff
home game.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
Hey,
Even
listen,
if you're
you got to respect it, okay? Listen, the NFC South has been just very competitive
They've
this
been
year,
beating
all
up on
right?
each
They
other,
just
you
beat
know?
up on each other.
It's a dogfight.
Division. There's a reason. Come on.
They're eating each other alive.
I mean, come on. It's just a tough
You're
one
going
to
to
get
win a
out of.
7-9 record?
We're not going to talk about all that, all right?
Hey, the Seahawks did it to the Saints. Saints went 10-6 one year, and the Seahawks went
The
9-7.
The Giants won 2 Super Bowls and they had not great seasons in the regular season. But I'm not saying Saints are going to win the Super Bowl. I'm saying that the Cowboys are the Cowboys. So they're very good in the regular season.
They're so much fun to bet
Postseason,
And they're
against.
very good in Jerry's world.
In Jerry's world, but
And
postseason
when they
on the
travel.
road, not so great.
boy, a Saints home.
That would be
playoff
electric.
game.
Against the
Hey, you
Cowboys?
could just go ahead. I'm gonna be in the city.
No doubt.
I'm gonna book my hotel right now.
I'm
The
in the
second that I
city.
find it, yeah.
No doubt.
And that's so funny about New Orleans and the Saints. Like, first of all, people were like boycotting actively. They win 2 games where it's like, I'm gonna be in the city if they play a whole
I'm
playoff
in
game.
the city.
Hey, give me an excuse to go down there and party
Yeah,
and have a
but
good
tell
time.
you what.
We could throw some money on a game.
Here's
What?
the deal, though. They
Leave
win-
pissed off.
They somehow sneak out a win next week or this Thursday in
Quick
LA.
turnaround.
Huh?
Quick turnaround.
Quick turnaround, which
I like.
could be great for the Saints.
The Rams?
Right? They go out to
They're
LA.
playing. It's a big game. It's
They're
a
playing
huge
well.
game.
Yeah.
They're playing well.
They both playing well. Both teams
They
are
both
playing
need the
well.
win.
Rams have a really good running back right now.
And good offense.
They got, I
right?
think they got a good quarterback too. Though.
Yeah, he's pretty
Yes,
solid.
he's okay.
He's pretty solid. They got 2 good receivers.
Yeah.
They're not bad.
Not bad.
The defense is gonna have
They
to.
got, some would say they got the best defensive player in the league, possibly.
Yeah, I think he's probably maybe a 2nd or 3rd ballot Hall of Famer or something.
They're not bad.
Maybe in the history of the league, potentially.
Yeah, maybe.
So it's a tough matchup. They struggled early. They're playing better now. If the Saints can somehow go out to LA and sneak a win, I think they go 10-7. I really do.
Wow.
I think they win. I think they win.
Win out.
Then they'll be back at that number that we basically said at the beginning of the year that we were like, oh, 10, 11, 12. I could easily see it. And then we stopped talking about them because it just looked that bad.
5-7.
It looked that bad
They were
for the
5 and
beginning.
7.
In the middle of the season, it looked that bad. You're like, you know what?
Oh, it was awful.
We're not
I'm
gonna
gonna be
do
honest.
this.
I took the Giants this weekend. I
Me
took the
too.
points. I took the points.
What was it?
5.5.
Yeah, I took 6. I had 6.
Wow.
I
took
bumped it
them
up.
too.
I bumped it up to 6.5 too, so that way I have touchdown how to beat them.
Mm-hmm.
But they look
Couple
better.
touchdowns beat 'em.
Alvin Kamara is getting a little older, but he still looks awesome.
I love Alvin.
He
Kamara.
still looks
good.
He's my favorite.
He still looks great.
Me too.
Yeah. He did win me some money this week.
And look,
That
they
was
did
good,
this
though.
without
That
Chris
was good.
Olave,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Chris Olave was not healthy. He was not playing.
What was wrong with him?
He's kind of banged up. I think it's ankle.
Concussion.
Yeah.
Oh.
Concussion, ankle.
Concussion,
hamstring.
ankle.
No, he
concussions,
didn't
huh?
play because of the ankle. He was out of concussion protocol.
Yeah.
How about the concussion protocol at the end of the year? They're just pushing people through that shit.
Oh, boy.
Beginning of the year, these
Oh,
dudes.
TJ Watt's fine.
Boys was missing
These dudes
2
were in
weeks.
the yeah, they were at 2 weeks in the
Yeah.
protocol. Now they're going in the little thing and they're out there. They're missing a play.
What's
Like,
your name?
Boys
Where you
get banged
from?
up. Hey, come on over here.
Yeah, you know what?
Get
Brock,
on out,
Brock,
man.
get out there, bro. Get out there. Go. You're good.
They don't even put the red hat in the tent anymore.
Bro,
Just like,
did you guys watch the game last night? Trevor Lawrence took a hit where he hit his head so hard. Yeah, at the end of the game, and I'm like, how is no one even?
I do
and then
remember
he's
that.
in concussion protocol today.
After
I'm
the
like,
game.
yeah. After the game, I'm like, I watched that and I was like, you see his face in the helmet? He was dazed.
yeah.
Like,
Oh, he was stumbling around after that.
yes, he's
and
got a
it's like-
concussion. Yeah. I'm like, but they don't care anymore. End of the year, they're like, Trevor, you
Gotta
be out
play.
there,
You're in a
bro.
playoff
Yeah.
race.
The
We gotta
playoff
get-
race. We
we
need
gotta
you for the
get
TV.
that.
Got his
Get
bell
on the
rung.
TV, bro.
He's got his bell
Ooh,
wrong.
man. Hey.
He got his bell wrong.
But they just start making everybody wear visors, colored visors.
We can't
see
show
my
the eyes.
eyes.
When the eyes are looking this way, we can't show them on TV.
What do you think the spread is for the Saints and Rams?
Rams minus
5.5.
2.5.
I was gonna say.
Am I right?
I was gonna
Go
say
ahead.
4. I was
I
gonna
said
say
5.5, but I feel like that's too big.
Who's getting points? Saints?
Rams.
Who's getting the points?
Saints
Rams
getting
are
4.5.
favored by 2.5.
Saints are definitely getting the points.
4.
Oh, I said
favored by
4.5.
4 or 4.5? 4.
4.
Oh, okay. That's bigger than I thought.
Probably gonna tease it.
What are you gonna get to?
Probably.
7.5?
I'm gonna give.
If anybody even watches this show like once a week, they know you're not probably gonna tease it. You have already teased it.
Lloyd and I are the king of the tweet.
Yes.
The other day, I teased 2 points on a total, like on a basketball, on a basketball total, not football.
Nah, I
Basketball.
don't like that number.
No, I was like,
Give me
no.
2 points.
I started, 2 points. Just turned it down just a little bit.
And
I hit it.
there we go.
Also,
You hit the regular?
yeah, the regular one.
Yeah, but I said 5. But
Regular
wait,
would have hit 2.
But didn't you
But
sleep
I felt better while I was watching
to
the
make
game. That's
sure,
it.
baby.
Because you came in the other week, you're like, I keep losing everything by half a point.
Yeah.
I didn't say anything.
You got to make some adjustments.
Uh-huh.
That's it.
Just buy a couple points.
That's funny.
Get the Rams to even money. Take the
Feel
under.
good about it too.
I do love.
You
I
do.
do love
I
the.
love a tease.
I do love the Thursday night football game. The same. I mean, I hate that they have to play it, but like
I'm excited to
Thursday,
watch it.
I'm excited to watch it.
This
Now-
could be also.
Oh, Lloyd's back on the train.
I was. Well,
I like that
I'm
there's
about to
Saturday
pre-
football now. We're like,
Oh, me too.
That was so awesome.
Me too.
Hey, I didn't move. I'm gonna be honest with you. I had me a nice lazy weekend, coach. I didn't
Saturday
move.
and Sunday.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
The best thing about the NFL Saturday slates is it's always one game per.
Yeah.
I know.
Time
You locked in.
That was
I'm
amazing.
locked in. Yep.
And so we're hunting,
Yeah.
and so we finished.
Focused on one.
I was like, oh my
Yeah.
god, we're done hunting. We're in the morning. It's chilly outside.
Yeah.
Fire going. TV
Beautiful.
outside.
Oh my God.
We have Food.
Talk to me next
food. We had food being cooked there for lunch.
Oh.
Nothing's going on other than you're going to go shoot guns and watch football.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Drink alcohol.
Nothing else.
Sounds like
no other
mint
options.
shit.
No other options.
That's it.
You're not going anywhere.
Yeah, that's it. Hello?
You have a house phone?
Yeah. Well, we're a business.
Landline, yeah.
It's good for Google.
People call you at 7:30.
That's I'm like, that's got to be telemarketers. I don't know, or they're just wondering.
Telemarketers call house phone? Oh, I guess they
Bro,
of course
they
they
call
do.
every phone. What you mean?
I haven't had a house phone.
The business was built, coach.
Dog, our phone rings 5 times an hour throughout the day. It's unbelievable, and it's not. It's people about the point of sale system. It's like we got a better thing for this. We got a better thing for this. Your business qualifies for this.
How about this?
It's the worst.
I had
Just trying to gamble and watch Monday Night.
Yeah, speaking of telemarketing,
take my money.
speaking of telemarketing phone calls, right? I guess there was a Allie must have filled something out as far as
Oh, so you put it on Allie.
No,
really? Just threw her straight under the bus.
You guys tried to get the free car in the mall?
She got duped. You didn't get duped. Okay, I got it.
It was a mortgage protection plan. I don't need a mortgage protection plan. It's like life insurance. Basically.
Yeah.
And so it got filled out. I didn't know. I guess
Assured Partners for all your insurance needs.
2 years ago.
Still on your ass.
Still getting called.
This guy sends me a text.
Oh.
And I was like, I don't need it. Then he sends me a screenshot of the form. I was like, that was 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I was like, I don't need it. He's like, what's a good time to call? I was like, I don't need it. I don't need a phone call.
Never, mother.
Yeah.
Listen to me.
Don't ever call.
He calls me.
Of course.
In the afternoon.
What you told him?
Right? I answered it.
No,
actually, I didn't answer it. I went to voicemail. 3 times in a row he called me. So
I love this guy.
So I'm pissed.
You was still nice, though. I know you were.
No, I wasn't. I answered the phone. I said, what do you want? I just told you I'm not interested in this. He's like, yeah. He goes, but people are really macho. You filled this out. He says, what happens if you die? Is your wife going to be able to pay the mortgage? I said, yes.
Man.
I said, hey, bro, you don't need to know my life situation. You don't need to know my finances. Just know that we're taken care of. How are you taken care of? He's like challenging me on the phone. I said, hey, dude, go away.
Yeah.
Don't call me.
Lose my number.
I was like,
meet me at Sonic.
I said, I was like, all you need to know is we're good.
Yeah.
So I hung up. Then he sends me a text.
Hey, big guy.
He goes, hey, I hope you're telling me the truth on being okay because I would hate to see something happen and your wife not be able to pay it. He goes, some people are too macho to I'm like,
this dude, he has the sniper on Mikey in the house while Mikey's walking through. He's just watching him.
Red dot?
Until you die.
I literally blocked his phone number.
I can't wait till he texts you tonight. Hey, big.
I blocked
Yeah.
Love the show.
You up?
What are you doing right here?
You up?
It was the most outrageous thing.
That is wild.
I was arguing with this guy. I don't even know.
I'd be mad.
I was screaming at him. And you know how I was like, I was just, and if Allie was with me, she would have got mad at me because I was yelling at him.
Yeah.
I was like, are you going to sit here and challenge me on the phone right now about me?
Macho. The word macho, too, just getting underneath your skin.
I just know what one, hey, motherfucker, came out.
I was like, what are you talking about?
Some people are too macho.
I'm like, bro, I didn't want to tell him I have a life insurance policy on my. I said I have a life insurance policy. My wife has a life insurance policy. She goes, well, what happens if something happens to you?
Kobe?
I was like, no, dumbass.
Yeah,
the life policy is on me.
She gets paid. That's what happens,
Idiot.
actually. And she'll be able to pay the mortgage with that money. Yeah. Leave me alone.
Go away.
Yeah. I think you just birthed yourself a new nickname, Mikey Macho.
Yeah.
Bro.
MMM, baby. That's it.
God, I think you just birthed one.
That's what M3 stands for.
Those payments are going through. Don't worry.
It was a lot.
I love it.
Auto draft.
This is what I wanted the Monday show to be.
Mikey Mahtook.
That's my wrestling name.
Yeah. Macho Man Mahtook.
Macho Man Mahtook.
all you need is the bicep ties with the strings hanging down. And, of course, the draws.
Oh, shit. What else?
And this man just has to show up so Mikey just gets these red all over again.
I don't even know what this guy looks like, but
macho. What a great word.
It was unbelievable, dude.
I can't wait for him to be like, subscribe to the show.
What if he walked in right now and was like, you didn't think I was going to find you?
Yeah.
It's like, I'm waiting for you to talk about this on your show.
I just called Cards and Culture.
I know you guys heard me calling.
I called in, actually, to the show.
Yeah.
You
want me to subscribe? Why don't you get some insurance?
I want you to unsubscribe.
Yeah.
Actually, we don't need the follower, actually.
Go home. What else are we going to talk about?
I love this man didn't know anything about insurance. He's trying to sell you insurance.
It's not that. It was technically mortgage insurance.
Mortgage insurance.
So it was like
It'd be a real shame if something happened to your family.
It was such a not something stupid. I was like, I do not need this. Please go away from me.
That's not good. Swift just fell behind the line of scrimmage.
Don't look. That's not good for the total.
Not good
yards.
for our. Yeah, I took it too. I took 75 with you. So.
I didn't. This is a Dallas Goddard program today.
I took that one. I'm glad. Listen to me. I've been hitting on these.
I know. We're riding with you.
No, you're not. You obviously just said you're not.
Well, I took one of them that I like.
One of the 4 that I matched.
Yeah, I mean,
It looked like his leg gave out right there. I mean, that's about my luck with.
As long as he didn't get hurt. Is he hurt?
I don't know. It looked like his leg gave out.
Did he stay in?
I think he stayed in.
I love that guy.
They weren't making a big deal about it, so I would imagine.
That man's wearing Captain Underpants.
I can't see his Islam.
They take him out so much though. Like Gainwell gets too many.
No, they never call false start on Lane.
There's Gainwell. 3rd down back.
There's Goddard.
There's Goddard.
There we go.
There's one.
We need 3 more. 3. No, we need 4 more.
4 more.
We need 4 more.
They love the running back carousel over there. I don't like it.
Yeah, but this is combined.
The running back carousel.
He's
over
gonna.
there. I don't like
Swift's gonna get a big chunk play at some point.
I usually in the beginning of the year I took him for 75 rushing and receiving a lot, and I was off it after a while. Well, I also would mix in receptions, and his over under was 2.5 or 3.5 half the time, and then
you get to 3, 2, and then
exactly. I was just like, I
can't buy those.
Yeah, no, I'm like, I hate it.
Is that Goddard again?
Yeah.
Oh, we just ran him over. Oh yeah, 2. That's a great start.
That's a great start on the first drive.
That's a great start. Love that. Needs 3 more. I mean, this is
I stayed away from Devontae except for longest. That's one of my plays on like guys that when I don't think they're going to get their receptions or yards, like if I'm a little nervous about the quarterback or the defense, I just go longest catch, longest reception. And it's usually like if his over-under was 60 today or something, I'm like,
2 catches for 40, but 1 catch for 35
exactly,
or something.
Yeah. So I take his longest reception was 21, and oh my God.
The Brandon. Oh.
What happened there?
Is that Kelsey?
I've never seen that.
Jesus, that's not the world's sexiest man.
Yeah, I've never seen that before.
Oh, so I thought it was 60. It was 69.
Oh, you got a new helmet.
Huh?
What?
Nice.
That's wild.
All right. Let's get to the
Minutos.
Seggies.
You have
you
yours ready?
You get one, and you got one in your head.
No, I'll go last. I'll go last.
You're a clutch performer.
Yeah, I like the pressure. You gotta hear it.
You want to go mistake of the day?
Ooh.
Mistake of the day is brought to you by our friends at Dozy Place.
Still owe a meal.
We do.
Yeah. We need to just plan a lunch to Doze.
I'm going to Lafayette tomorrow. I shouldn't be in Lafayette the rest of the week. So I think maybe we can figure that out.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
Right before Christmas.
Great club sandwich. Obviously burger.
Honestly, all their sandwiches for lunch are fire.
Good.
The burger's fire. I mean, you got to go get the burger.
Yeah.
You've never had the burger.
You got to get the lunch burger.
It's been a while since I had the burger. Man, the burger is.
How are the fries? They get fries.
Delicious.
They're solid. Yeah. Oh, look at that.
You like
Everybody's
tamales?
face was amazing about the fries. Like, there's no
You like
doubt
tamales?
there. Yeah. They're great.
With some chili on top.
Last time I got a burger, it lasted like 3 days.
I'm starving now.
Lloyd got a burger. It lasted him 3.5 days.
And I split it.
He eats like a child. Not even a child. He eats
bird,
like
little bird
like
bites.
a bird.
Yeah.
Little bird bites.
He
Smart. It's just economically intelligent.
Exactly.
I just made it economically intelligent. What the hell?
Yeah, God.
I mean, I guess
it
it
works. Yeah, but
it does work.
I was never ever.
Sounds like me.
You're
Fiscally
fiscally
responsible.
responsible.
That shit sounds
Fiscally
like
responsible. That's what I think.
Economically
malnutrition.
prudent.
Yeah, there we go. Those were all better than what I said. Yeah. All better.
Mistake of the day brought to you by our
Dozy
friends
Place.
over at Dozy Place. And I think this is the mayor of New York. I'm not sure, but he just really stepped into it when he was talking about all of the good things that happen in New York City or what you can get from New York City. And this is him on a year in review on an eventful 2023. You don't have headphones in, so you won't be able to hear it, but the viewers will.
Well, you have the.
Mr. Mayor, we've come to the end of what was a very eventful 2023, right? So when you look at the totality of the year, if you had to describe it, and it's tough to do, in one word, what would that word be, and tell me why?
New York. This is a place where every day you wake up, you could experience everything from a plane crashing into our trade center to a person who's celebrating a new business that's open. This is a very, very complicated city, and that's why it's the greatest city on the globe.
I don't think.
Mr. Mayor, we've come to the end of what was a very eventful 2023.
He
right?
said,
so when you look at
New
the
York City is
totality
a
of
city where you wake up and you could see the plane crashing into the towers one day.
What?
Or you can see
A small business being
small
opened.
business being
Greatest
what?
city in the world.
Being what?
Being opened.
Being opened. He said that's why it's the greatest city in the world.
Never know what you're going to get.
Ooh, that's a bad day for him today.
He's the mayor.
Oof. Yeah,
that's the second reference
I know.
over the last month on the World Trade Center.
That was even worse, though.
That was worse than McDermott's.
I'm gonna be honest.
Did you hear
He wasn't
McDermott?
trying-
Well,
he
McDermott's was like a.
He wasn't trying to rally the troops. That's just bad. Like, what?
And McDermott's was like.
Panicked.
McDermott's was like a long time ago, and he was trying to reference like how to organize your team.
Oh my
and he
God.
said the terrorists were very organized and like they had to work as a team. It
So
was
he was
not,
using them as like an example.
Yeah, it was not good. It was not
Like, hey,
good.
dude, we could have picked a lot better examples.
Let's talk about SEAL
Not
Team
good.
6 when they
Yeah.
organized themselves.
No.
to
Yeah,
kill
that's-
Osama bin Laden.
yeah,
no, let's do the other people, the bad people.
Adolf
People
Hitler
have
did a
heard the
great job of rallying the troops. You know?
Right,
like,
right.
Like, hey, bro.
Right.
Hey, that's
not funny.
the
I can't be
example.
laughing at that. That's not. That's
But
wrong.
this is the mayor of New York City,
Yeah.
where the World Trade Center was
Was.
hit.
Yeah.
And
Was.
oh my God.
People never forget.
That's embarrassing.
That was bad.
That's bad.
That's a bad
That
mistake.
was as bad as.
There's no way to get around that one.
Yeah,
Mistake of the day.
That's a good one. Good job.
I see you working there, Lou.
Curtain Call is brought to you by our friends at Assured Partners.
And?
Me? No. Before we get to Curtain Call, well, actually, that is a Curtain Call. We'll talk about it.
Okay. Well, I'll lead it off.
Yep.
It is December, middle of December. It is pretty slow right now.
Yep.
So, my favorite used to be the Steph Curry ceiling drop 3-ball. That was pretty cool watching the warm-ups. I got a new favorite now, Luka Doncic. He's got this behind-the-back kick flip alley-oop that he throws now, and it's pretty impressive. So I'm going to give some love to that.
It is really.
I actually enjoy seeing that.
It is really impressive.
It's really impressive.
It's really cool.
Yeah, roll that.
And it's
Give
like,
me more of that.
It's
content.
unbelievable.
It
Because
is.
he
Like
throws it up.
It's impressive. You're not supposed to be able to do this.
Hold on. Let me get to a little. Instagram is always quite a tricky proposition. Is it a video?
Yeah.
Oh, they're down there.
Yeah, we got a
He
little
just,
video. Here you
I
go.
mean, 5 for 5, just
So
marched
you got to
it.
swipe over to the.
Oh, here we go.
There you go.
Oh, it's
Wow.
unbelievable.
That's smooth.
Do you
That's
remember the old Steve Nash dunk contest where he did it to Amari Stoudemire? He did.
Oh,
the,
Steve Nash is a soccer player.
Yeah.
Yeah, this man is.
Do it.
doing
Play it
this.
one more time.
This is sick.
This is impressive. This is way behind the 3-point line.
That
too.
is
That's impressive, man.
smooth.
Yeah.
He's so good.
That's great. He is so good.
I
like his demeanor too. I like his. I like what his personality.
I'd pay to go
He
watch
smile,
warm-ups
talk
just to see
shit.
that.
Yeah.
I'd pay to watch warm-ups just to see that. I would.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Let me get down there. Let me see.
I'm not going to lie. Luka's the man.
Yeah.
Like, I love Luka.
He's one of my favorite players in the
Yeah.
league.
Oh, there's a guy on Twitter I got to show you for player props. Everybody.
Really?
Who's that?
I think his name's Caruso on Twitter. Been crushing it.
Crushing the play.
Okay.
we did.
Okay.
What? I told you about it. I told you about it last week.
I told you about this 2 months ago. Who do you think I've been taking the props from, dummy?
I
Trying
love
to give
it.
this to this
This
man.
motherfucker.
I
Do you
love
remember me telling him this? Thank you.
Yes.
That's hilarious.
Why do you think I've been taking all the props?
I showed him to you.
I like
No, you
it.
did not.
I love a good prop.
Thank
too.
you. Diffuse.
And it's been working. He's been killing it. Where do you think all my bets
I
are
got
coming
back,
from?
baby.
Like Jesus Christ.
You think I've been doing this myself?
Yeah,
I've been
come on.
cheating the whole time.
Yeah, I've been following this guy, and they're free, and they're great. And I've parlayed, and I've hit parlays. It's awesome. He does have good NBA ones.
He does.
I
He
need to get
does.
on it. I'll
He
get
does
it.
do good NBA ones.
Sometimes he pisses me off though because he throws around that L word that I hate.
Yeah, I know. I know.
What is it?
I know.
Lock?
Lock.
I know. I hate that
I
too.
can't stand it.
I don't like picking a lock.
But it is in
today.
writing, and so like it's a little different.
Yeah, it's true.
You know.
I won't even say it. I almost
all
killed
right.
a kid on Robert's bachelor party. He kept throwing that word around.
Well,
There's
My
my Jalen
curtain
Hurts
call.
touchdown, guys.
To who? Oh, Jalen.
No, I said there's my Jalen Hurts touchdown.
I got
Who's
it.
in?
I mean, I
you
took
bet
it
it?
individually, but I took it out of the parlay. So, but I
Dang.
mean, it's all right. I took it individually.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
Nice. What was it? Plus something?
We paid for that.
No, it was minus 125.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was minus 125. So I bet 50 on it to win 44.
All
Here
right.
we go.
My curtain call is the one and only. Maybe top 5 teammate of all time, Jameis Winston. He's going to get a job for a really long time, not because of his ability on the field, but what he brings to the locker room. And if you watch the game and you watch the pregame and you saw him, he walked up in this outfit with this really nice designer briefcase. And you're like, damn, he's going to work. Little did we know that it was a prop for his speech that he gave to his team. And if you wanted to know what the speech was about, he sat down and he opened up this briefcase and he opened it up. Nothing was in it.
And
He
why was
said,
that?
"This is the only thing that separates us from What did he say?
Oh, nice. You
From
sound like
winning the
Jameis
NFC
now. What did I say?
Winning the NFC.
The only thing that stands between us and greatness is this. Nothing. I'm like, wow.
There was a video of that too?
No, but that was the report. Like, this is what he said.
I love that. I wish I would have seen that, though,
Me
a
too.
video of that.
And look, it worked. They won 24-6.
I mean,
Jameis always, he is great for 3 or 4 of those a year. The W's.
Eat a W. The all-timers when he was suspended from Florida State and showed up in full uniform. And Jimbo was like, what are you doing?
Another great one.
He's like, I want to be like the rest of my teammates. I don't want to stand out.
Another great one.
Like, I can't argue with him.
Another great one was 2 weeks ago when Derek Carr was struggling and Jameis Winston just tapped him on the back on the sidelines. And then the other one earlier in the year when Derek Carr was talking to Shaheed, he said, Shaheed, next time we go, just go deep. And Derek goes, yep. Jameis goes, yep.
Next time,
Next time, yep.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then you have him rapping Ludacris to Derek Carr, who wants nothing to do with it.
While
He's
they're getting smashed.
He's the best.
He's just the best.
He's the best.
He is the best.
He's a golden retriever. Like, the energy is just always like, oh,
He's
great
the
day
best,
to be
though.
here.
It's the genuine love for the game is
Yeah.
great. And the genuine love for just being out there, awesome.
You heard that explanation where he was like comparing like your elbows and your knees and the wrists and the ankle. Like, bro, I was like, this is so amazing.
He's the best.
It's just gold.
He's the best.
It's gold.
That's my current call. You got one?
Your knees are like your elbows.
You don't have to have it. You don't have to have one. I threw you on the show the last
I'm
minute.
gonna go curtain call. All right. So again, we're in cards and culture. We're in the hobby world. In the collectibles world, I think you guys would appreciate this as football and baseball guys. The biggest product of the year came out for the MLB draft. So like Skeens' first card, right, came out. So there was a lot of hype around that. People like it. But what Topps did was they put Tom Brady in the product because he was a baseball player. So I don't know if you know that. He got drafted out of high school. Montreal Expos, yeah. So my curtain call is to Tom Brady because they are freaking marketing him like crazy. And he is corny. I mean, he's always kind of corny, right? Like that's a little bit of the TB12 brand. But he is like, they're doing like fake commercials and all this campaign as if he never played football and he became the greatest baseball player of all time. So he's like doing all kinds of corny stuff.
Loves it, dude.
Yeah, loves it. But anyway, shout out to Tom Brady. He did like a bunch of inscriptions and stuff like that on the cards in the set.
Cool.
So people have put a $500,000 bounty on one of those cards. So if you pull one of those cards, you buy a box for $500. You get that card.
I won't buy a box.
Somebody can win $500,000.
Wow.
So
Curtain call that.
yeah. Curtain
I
call
do
that.
have a question for you though.
Yeah.
Remember when me and Nate split that box?
Yeah.
I think one of our good cards in there was Halliburton, Tyrese Halliburton.
That's right.
And we were like, he was a rookie. We didn't really know. Like, he's got to be really good.
It's got to be a nice card now.
He's got to be pretty nice, right?
Yeah. I forget what kind of card it was.
Me too, but Nate's got him locked up, and
that's what I was gonna say. We gotta go. His collection is actually probably
our collection. Hey,
yeah.
Our collection.
But he has that nice LaMelo Ball card too.
That
was like
his
10,000. Yeah. That's what I'm
own.
saying. That was like a $10,000 card.
Yeah. So like he's got like, but I want to see maybe
Yeah. No. The Halliburton might be the time to make a move on it too. That would be interesting. Yeah.
What's the Beanie Baby market like? Down? We found
there's like a handful of them that are still valuable, but like overall they're like NFTs.
What about the
what about the
Pokemon
Christmas
cards?
Beanie Baby?
Pokemon cards still up?
Pokemon cards are
so here's the deal.
The most up.
I had like 3 Charizards in mine, and it's probably in the binder somewhere in the attic. Well, my mom had to get a new AC a while back, and this guy put it in the middle of the attic inside, and you can't get around it to get to any of the stuff.
Stop.
So I can't even go up in the attic and get my old stuff when I was a kid because it's stuck in the middle, and it's all
because there's all kinds of stuff around it, like all the.
Because like the AC is like
stuff,
too big, and it's like I can't.
What if you like had to?
Well, they're gonna have to move it.
Eventually,
they're gonna have to go in there and like figure this out. Yeah. But
no, Pokemon shit is still it's still electric. It's
I'm hoping my mom didn't sell them in a garage sale long time ago. That would not be good.
Oh, Gary V was there.
Yeah. No, Gary V is definitely not in life yet.
You don't know.
Is Gary V still big? Like
he's so crazy. But he just does a billion things, so it's like he's big in different industries. But he's a great marketer.
Oh yeah.
He wants to own the Jets. His lifelong goal.
Yep.
Me too.
That's all we got today, boys. We got a show. We're gonna have a big show on Wednesday.
Huge show.
Huge show. On Wednesday.
Massive.
Enormous.
I love it.
Couldn't be gargantuan.
Humongous.
Like colossal.
Ooh.
Not big in the sense of
like
colossal.
Like weight, like gaining weight.
You hit me like
That's early.
Why'd you looking for me?
Early signing day is on Wednesday. We'll be here on Wednesday. We'll probably bring in some other guests. We're definitely going to bring in Bryce, talk about the signing day and what happened and what didn't happen, who we're still waiting on.
Walter Nolan.
Yep. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. Enjoy Monday Night Football. We will be back Wednesday. We appreciate you. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you have not done that, please do so. What are we at?
We're at 5,010.
Wow,
picked up
10.
10.
We gained 10 over a week.
10 over the weekend. Ooh,
There we
10
go.
on
Let's
an
keep
off
going.
day.
Look, 10 a day. I mean, 10 a week would be. I'll take that. I'll be until we get to baseball season. Then I'd like to about 1,000 a week or something.
Yeah. Maybe we made an imprint on the A&M culture.
Maybe. Did we?
Because of Tommy.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Maybe so.
I'm sure they loved me.
I'm sure they love you. If you can't watch us and you like listening to us, please, anywhere you get your pods. We appreciate the love and support. We'll be back on Wednesday. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. Peace.
Bye-bye.
And you know what, Michael? It's Mardi Gras. Fuck it.
It's Mardi Gras coming up. You have to say something nice to the listeners, Anthony.
I told Mike this weekend that I do it every time.
You have to say something nice before we go.
Oh, are we still live?
Yeah.
Thank you guys. Appreciate you. Thanks for letting me be here. You guys fucking with me? We're not live.
No, we are.
It is weird. This is what Lloyd does, and we're like, bro.
I usually say, you know what, Michael? It's Mardi Gras. Fuck.